Welcome back, everyone. My name is Adam Soroka, and I'm delighted, and I mean delighted, to be joined by Michael Jansen, CEO of Cityzenith. Cityzenith are a decarbonisation partner for future energy systems, and I'm really excited to have this chat with him. I know that Michael's been working on some brilliant stuff. First of all, Michael, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really excited to go through a few things with you. I'm always happy when you're on screen with me because you're working on some fantastic new innovative stuff, and I think it's really good for our viewers to see companies like you really working and trailblazing on this. So, now starting with this wonderful Clean Cities, Clean Future initiative, because I'm very interested with that. Can you explain a bit more about that, but also what you're doing in Los Angeles, New York? I think it's in Phoenix as well, and Vegas, and I think soon in Chicago. So yeah, I'd like to hear a little bit about what you're doing there, Michael.
Right. Well, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be here, Adam, and update you on what we've been doing. So, the Clean Cities, Clean Future initiative is a program that's designed to have us implement digital twins in cities around the United States, Europe, and the rest of the world in kind of a pilot program format where we initially implement in 10 cities, of which we've now contracted with four, and a fifth is soon to be signed. Those are New York, Las Vegas, Phoenix. We just announced Los Angeles, and now hopefully soon Chicago coming up, something we're very interested in. And the program is designed to leverage digital twin technology to do two things. One is to identify, using data, the major opportunities for building decarbonization in those cities. And secondly, to actually decarbonize the target buildings themselves using data. So the purpose will be to use the building's data and the data from outside the building to simulate the path to decarbonization, including a recommendation for the implementation of equipment, financing, etc. And then over time, these digital twins will monitor the performance of those buildings and assets to ensure that they maintain net zero compliance.
You see, what's interesting about that, we had I think two or three panels earlier that were utility heavy, and they were talking a lot about correlating digital twin with data with decarbonisation. So it's a very interesting sort of bit of work you're doing, especially on that. In addition,
Right.
though, to your Los Angeles project, Michael, obviously you're doing something called LA Better Buildings Challenge, which is
Mhm.
regarding district heating and cooling.
Right.
That is very interesting, especially for this
Right.
community tuned in to this event. So it's about obviously talking about a shared centralized utility. Can you explain a little bit about what this means for the future of the energy supply of buildings, specifically in cities?
Well, I wish I had all of that answer, but I think that there's a thinking that the future of energy supply to the built environment in cities will come through shared or what they call district heating and cooling sources. And there are
Mm,
projects around the country from New York to LA that are studying this. The theory being that we can achieve much more efficiency by centralizing that source and the flow back and forth to that source and then between the buildings rather than having these individual sources in each building to power itself. So
mm.
there's all the evidence suggests that this is the path forward to reducing energy consumption at source. So why LA is important is that we focus on buildings, and of course buildings you have utility source. This one actually incorporates utility source as well, and we'll be looking at the potential of this shared district heating source and modeling the pathways back and forth between that shared source and various target buildings in the city or in that particular area of LA to study the impact of a shared heating and cooling source on individual emissions at the building level and also on district level emissions. So it's going to be interesting. We don't know what kind of results we're going to get, but we'll find out.
Oh, you'll find out, and you'll sort of develop it from there. Smart World OS3, Zero S3. I've heard that a few times. I've seen it around. It looks a very interesting initiative. I think it's due for release in 2023, from what I
Mhm.
gather.
Right.
What's unique and different about the new version?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Like the way I've been running this company is not like a rock group that keeps the same three people for 30 years, but like every 4 years we change the entire band. And
Oh God.
we have a whole new team for version 3 that we developed a thesis that there wasn't a true digital twin platform out there anywhere that could deliver on the 4 pillars that a digital twin and a unique piece of technology needs to deliver on, which is
Mm,
aggregating data at scale in cities across multiple technologies, visualizing that data at scale in cities, in our case, across multiple technologies, using that data to analyze information, rearward
mm,
looking and forward looking at scale, and finally
mm,
allowing users to collaborate at scale. And all those things are different, but they're all required to make a true digital twin product work because of the collaborative nature of this type of enterprise.
mm,
So Smart World 03 is about, in our kind of language, the first real version of a digital twin even for Cityzenith that delivers on all 4 of those pillars. We brought in a new CTO from Lockheed Martin. We brought in a new head of data science from Starbucks, a new head of
oh
product
wow.
management from Code Green. Yeah, we were really brought the the earth for this one. We've been lucky that because we've been successful in launching this program, a lot of people who have had successful careers in this space have come out to join us and be a part of this mission. And we're leveraging that talent to put this version together. So you'll see all kinds of things from an announcement about a new partnership with Amazon using one of their products, and a new partnership with Epic Games. We're going to start, moving into a new visual world with them. It's going to get into VR and AR, all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, I can't wait for version 3.
I was going to say, it sounds very. I like the fact that you go through other sectors. There's a lot of cross-sector learning, probably, when it comes to these things as well. On the role of technology, and this is, I wanted to ask you, Michael, because I've had a few conversations with you over the sort of the last couple of years about the role of technology to decarbonize the customer, the industry, whatever we can sort of talk about it. Where do you see the role of digital twins specifically? Um, that innovation enabling sort of energy transition, decarbonizing the sort of the world? Because I know you're doing city by city, but what's sort of the future of this? So where's the long-term plan for this, and where do you see it in maybe a few years? Where sort of do you see the outcome?
Well, I think where it's headed is that digital twins, especially at the city scale, which we call master digital twins, will become the command and control centers for energy transition everywhere.
Mm,
And they're rapidly developing towards that capability. Right now, they're mostly one directional, taking information in, processing and aggregating, giving information, visualizing. They will go to bidirectional, allowing you to control assets from the twin. That's certainly something that's already happening in the manufacturing space and will come up. So um, I've written a paper about this. I think as far as energy transition is concerned in cities, digital twins are probably the only solution that can really deliver on the complexity of that, given the environment, thousands of tools out there, very few of them interoperating, myriads of individual consultant practices and things. So there's a need for standardizing all of that, at least elements of it. And the digital twin provides a kind of three-dimensional space-time language that everybody can understand. So it cuts across a lot of the idiosyncrasies of proprietary software and provides a kind of new interface that uh, is going to power organizations in a different way. Entire companies can be run with a couple of people in a digital twin soon. It's all going to change when as this gets more traction. So our intention now is just to get it in as many people's hands as we can, to work with partners. We have a new partner in the energy space we're going to announce soon. It's a very big one, to roll this out, project after project, and try to continue on our mission to deploy this as widely as we can.
it's amazing what you're doing. Do you have a digital twin, Michael? Because I think your company needs it.
One of our CTO has a digital twin of his house, and he lives on a farm, and he can, he has sensors in part of his property that can sense water levels and turn the sprinklers on and off. It's hilarious.
Oh my
So
God.
yes, we play around.
That's fantastic, that is. I should do the same, actually. It's wonderful. It's wonderful technology. It's brilliant what you're doing, Michael. I mean, I'm always following what Cityzenith are doing. And I think, you're one of these companies that are sort of trying to innovate as much as you can. And that's why I always like to get you involved in sort of what we're doing over here. So I really appreciate you taking some time out to have this Q&A with me. As I mentioned, Cityzenith are a decarbonisation partner for the event. Please go and see them as well. And Michael, I hope to speak to you again very soon.
Same here, Adam. Thank you again, as always.
No problem. Cheers, Michael. Take care.